So first things first, next year I will be studying at
Elizabeth Marie Chu.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am filming a follow-up video to my college decision reactions, which I will link in the description below if you haven't seen it. But this was highly requested, and today I'm talking about my stats application process and my college decision reveal. So first things first, next year I will be studying at UC Irvine. So now with regards to stats, oh, and I have my laptop down here. If you see me glancing down, I'm looking at my notes. So a lot of people requested my stats on my college decision reaction video, and I remember myself being in that same position, like my early senior year. I would like binge watch the college decision reaction videos and try to compare my stats with others so I could predict my college decision. And so I'm gonna choose to not reveal like my exact SAT, ACT, GPA. I'll just say like a general idea for two reasons. First off, I feel like defining yourself or others by numbers really diminishes you as a person. And I believe this creates like an unhealthy and competitive mindset, especially if you are watching this video as a current or soon-to-be college applicant. It just creates that kind of like, oh, I gotta be better than this person because they didn't get into that one school that I really want to get into. So if you're watching this as a college applicant, just know that colleges don't just look at stats, which goes into reason number 2. I'm not going to say like my exact stats, which is that colleges look at a large variety of factors when considering who to accept and who not to accept. And I mean, even if somebody had, say two students had the same GPA, same SATs, same AP scores, like their essays are going to be extremely different because they come from different backgrounds, probably different schools, different families, different weaknesses and strengths and traits. So just know that in the college application process, you are not just your SAT number or your GPA. You are presenting your whole self and yourself, not others. So guess I'll just say like the general range of my stats. So my SAT was above a 1500. I had a 4.0 unweighted GPA and a pretty good weighted GPA because I took numerous honors and AP classes. I had a lot of extracurricular activities with some leadership opportunities, and I did some community service. I was involved in Girl Scouts. So now I'm just going to talk about like my college application process. If you watched my previous college decision reaction video, you know that I applied to 15 schools. 11 of those were in-state, and if you don't know, I live in California, and so 4 of those were out of state. And the reason why majority of those were in California was is because I would prefer to stay in-state for school. So I'm just going to list off the in-state schools first. So I did 6 UCs: UCLA, UC Irvine, UC Berkeley, Davis, San Diego, and Santa Barbara. My 5 private in-state schools were Stanford, USC, LMU, Santa Clara University, and University of San Diego. My 4 out-of-state schools were Brown, Northeastern University, University of Portland, and University of Washington. So the number one factor that I looked for in a school when I was researching which colleges I was going to apply to was that the school had my major, which is mechanical engineering. I mean, if a school doesn't have what I want to study, it was immediately off my list. So in order, I'll tell you like my ranking, like from my first choice school to like my least preferred schools, but keep in mind that these are all really good schools and no hate to any of them or anybody going there. Just this was just my personal preference. So my first choice school was USC. Then going down from there was UCLA, Stanford, UC Irvine, Santa Clara, Brown University, Northeastern, University of San Diego, UC San Diego, University of Washington, Berkeley, LMU, UC Santa Barbara, University of Portland, and Davis. So USC and UCLA have kind of always been my two first choice schools for much of my life, and one of those reasons is location. Both schools are in Los Angeles, and just a little context, like my dream job is to be an engineer for Disney, so I kind of always pictured myself interning or having a lower job there, like junior, senior year, and then working my way up to a job in Walt Disney Imagineering. But other than location, both schools have great engineering programs, great campuses. I visited each school like maybe 3 times each, and especially for USC, what set it kind of above UCLA was that because it is private, it's less like impacted and it's easier to switch majors, I've heard. And then also USC is on a semester system, which I'm more used to, so I was like, okay, semester system will probably be a better fit for me versus the quarter system, which is a lot more rushed, which is what all the UCs have except for Berkeley, I believe. So yeah, other than that, like USC and UCLA, they both had like a lot of student organizations that I really wanted to get involved with, so it really made them stand out amongst all the other colleges that I applied to. My third choice school was Stanford. I didn't really expect to get in, which I didn't, but it was just kind of like a go for it application, like why not. What really made Stanford stand out was their like product realization lab classes. It's really cool. If you're checking out the engineering program at Stanford, I would highly recommend you look into that. So my fourth choice school was UC Irvine. Again, Irvine is in Irvine, and it's 20 minutes away from Disneyland, so again, that had the location factor, great engineering program. I really like the campus. It's so beautiful. There's so much like green and plants, and it's just such a pretty campus, and it's a little bit smaller, which I kind of liked, so more easier to like navigate around. And then my next school was Santa Clara. I really liked their robotics lab because I'm in robotics at my high school, and I really like the campus. It is really small, I have to say, compared to all the colleges I visited, but I like how small it is. It's also private, so it's easier to like get your classes. It's less impacted. The only thing that like drew me away from Santa Clara was that they didn't have material science, which is like my plan B major, and I kind of like was at the time of college application process, I was kind of thinking about minoring material science, so it kind of like set Santa Clara like down on my list. But other than that, I really liked the school. Brown, that was the only Ivy League I applied to, and again, it was kind of like a why not just go for it application. Totally didn't expect to get in, but I did end up getting an interview for it, which was fun. I guess I also got an interview for Stanford. I forgot to mention that. But what I really liked about Brown, besides like their amazing engineering program and like beautiful city that it's located in, was that it has an open curriculum. I believe for engineering, like you have a set amount of like required classes, like your physics and your STEM classes, but like other than that, they don't like force you to take like a common core, which I really liked that freedom, especially because I have so many diverse interests, so that really drew me to Brown. Next is Northeastern. I really liked Northeastern's like co-op program, which if you're like looking to do like a lot of out of the classroom experiences during college, I would definitely recommend you check that out. Northeastern has a great engineering program, and they also offer a minor in sign language, which is like something I've always been interested in, so definitely made Northeastern stand out. And Northeastern is in Boston. So after Northeastern was University of San Diego, which is a small private Catholic school in San Diego. It's a gorgeous campus, really great food, I thought. The one thing that I didn't like about their engineering program, which is a great program, was that you earn a BA and a BS. So I think they say it's either 4.5 to 5 years, and my scholarship only covers 4 years, so I would be paying like $70,000 for an extra year if I did end up taking the 5th year. So then after University of San Diego was UC San Diego. Again, really great engineering program. I didn't care for the campus that much compared to like UC Irvine and UCLA, but it had a great program. I like their 6 college program. It's really cool. If you're interested in that school, I would definitely check that out because that's really makes it stand out from the other schools. But after UC San Diego is University of Washington, which is another school that I did not tour while I was applying. So I did a virtual tour on UVisit, which I would highly, highly recommend if you can't make it to college to tour the campus. But they have a great program, and they also have architecture, which I also was interested during the application process. So that's why I applied to University of Washington, which is in Seattle. And then after University of Washington, on my preference order was Berkeley. Obviously great engineering program. I didn't expect to get in. I like the area, San Francisco. I have family there. The one thing I didn't like about Berkeley was the competitiveness. Like, I heard horror stories about how some students like were sabotaging other students like chem finals and like pouring stuff into their files. But yes, that kind of drew me away from Berkeley. But I do like that they have the semester system. And then after Berkeley was LMU, which is in the LA area. It was another school that I didn't get the chance to tour, but from what I've seen in pictures online, virtual tour, it was great. Like, such a pretty campus from what I've seen. The one thing I didn't like though, I kind of preferred the other engineering programs at some other schools. Like, they're more well known, more established, but again, no hate to LMU. It's a great school. After LMU was UC Santa Barbara, another school I did not tour, but again, great campus, gorgeous area right next to the beach. Great engineering program. One thing that drew me away from UCSB and why it kind of ended up lower on my list was because it didn't have material science, which at the time, again, was at like my second alternate major that I was trying to aim for, and since they didn't have that, it bumped down lower in my rankings. After Santa Barbara was University of Portland in Oregon, which is a private school. Again, it's a little bit more expensive because it's private, but I did get a pretty good scholarship from them, which I'm very honored to receive. And what I really liked about University of Portland is the MECOP program for engineering, which is an internship program. And then after University of Portland was my last school on my list, which is Davis, which is the school that my parents both went to. Great engineering program, but the one thing about the location is that it's like an hour away from home, so I was hoping to go a little bit farther than Davis and go to SoCal. So yeah. So now I'm going to talk about like my decision process to which college I was going to attend. So I kind of did like an elimination kind of method as decisions were coming out. So I would compare like 2 that had just come out and then pick which one I liked the most, and then keep comparing and choosing one as decisions were coming out. So for a few of them, cost ruled them out automatically, and unfortunately that was Santa Clara and the University of Washington. I really liked both of those schools, but even with the financial aid, I couldn't afford to go there. So in the end, I narrowed it down to USC, UCI, and Northeastern. And for USC, my financial aid did not come in right away, so I didn't really. Obviously, it was my first choice school, and if I could afford it, I would have gone. But because my financial aid had not come out, I did not kind of like consider it for a bit. So between UCI and Northeastern, I really liked Northeastern's co-op program, but I did like UCI's like location a little bit more. It was closer to home. It's right next to Disneyland, so career-wise, it seemed like the more logical fit, and especially because it's closer to home, it'd be a lot easier to move in. I wouldn't have to fly in like every time. I could drive for move-in day. And Northeastern, like, because it is a private school, I technically would not have been able to afford it to begin with, but I was offered a great scholarship because I'm a National Hispanic Scholar, which I'm very honored to receive. So that's why that was still in the running, because I know like normally it would be like the same cost as like Santa Clara, but because I got that scholarship, it brought it down to like about UCI's cost. So yeah, in the end I did choose UC Irvine over Northeastern, which my parents were very glad that I was going to stay in California and not go to Boston across the country. So for USC, I was a spring admit, so I went to the spring admit day. I think it was in March or maybe April. Probably April. I was really excited. I was ready to commit, but again, did not have that financial aid package in hand. So it was actually the day after admit day. We were in the hotel room like 5 a.m. and my financial aid package came in, and basically we could not afford it, unfortunately. But I am very happy to be attending UC Irvine. So a few of the reasons why UC Irvine was in made it to the final 3 and why I chose it over Northeastern also was because I am part of the honors program, so there's just a bunch of special benefits that made it stand out. Like you get priority class enrollment, which helps for a UC since a lot of classes, like, they're hard to get because it's public, and there's like more research opportunities for honor students, guaranteed housing for 4 years. So it just seemed like a really good deal, and I love the campus. It's close to Disneyland. I love the energy there, and like it definitely has some competition, but it's a lot less competitive than some of the other UCs that can get crazy. So yeah, so I will be very happy to attend UC Irvine next year. I think I'm going to try to film my move-in day and maybe week 0, all that craziness. But yeah, I'll keep you updated, and thank you for watching. Bye.